This is part 2 of Stepmom on Strike. Stepmom, I feel for you. I feel for you. My heart goes out to you and your stepson. Your stepson is not doing okay. He's not okay. The only reason that kids act like that is because they're not okay inside. And every single kid is different. Every single situation is different. But to me, mom and dad have put way too much on you. And I do think you're being unreasonable. I do not think the way that you are handling your stepson is appropriate at all. You're attempting to address really, really complicated behavior with, and you're in a power struggle with this little boy who has oppositional defiant disorder and God knows what else going on in his head mentally. This is not a place you want to be with a kiddo like this in a power struggle, and that's where you're at. I feel like you're probably getting the brunt of his anger and rage because you've been put in the position from mom and dad to be the one to do the majority of parenting, and you're not getting enough support or resources. In these cases where you have very difficult children, it can be that much harder for a mom and dad to get on the same page and support one another, but like you have to support one another. Mom and dad have to support one another. Instead of fighting over parenting time should be optimized for both parents. Resources should be optimized for both parents. The fact that this kiddo wants to spend time with his mom, but he's not there anymore is something that I would want to explore, especially if now mom has been pulled into this and she's trying to teach him how to cook for himself. Can you imagine if your kiddo was at another house and they lived with another person most of the time and that person refused to feed them the same food they cooked for the rest of the family? Like, can you imagine the situation that mom is feeling? It's really unfair that you have been put in this situation. But in my opinion, the very best way to handle it is a whole family intervention, not stepmom and stepson at war to try to change his behavior, which is incredibly complex.